Hello everybody, Joe Nielsen here. So, the past week anyways, Matt has been having very interesting episodes. So he'll get into his imagination and start creating something. He started off with creating a universe and going back and creating all these different things, which I really love when he gets into his imagination. He gets very creative. I love the creative side of him. He gets very happy and excited and joyful and playful. And he'll play with everybody and be excited about life and things are good. And then he was creating a story and a movie and a game, which was again really exciting, so he could still be there. But sometimes he gets stuck in there, and he gets to a place where he starts forgetting imaginative and creating and real. And I don't mean real, like, because we all see things differently and we all believe things differently. But I mean, like, when he starts to get somebody in trouble because he's thinking that, they had done it before in what he had already thought about, because he's creating this thing, right? This reality. And sometimes you have to remind him, that that's just happened in your imagination. It was just in there, not in your reality. Now I know that if in his episodes that he goes through in this part of time, if I was to take him to a medical doctor right now, I'm sure that he would be evaluated. I'm sure he would be evaluated with some kind of psychiatric disorder, with Lord knows what else, and probably put on some other kind of medication and all this other stuff. And I'm here to tell you that this episode doesn't last long. He goes through it. It may last a week. It may last 2 weeks. If I can get him out of his head faster, the faster I can get him out of his head, the better off it is. But sometimes it goes a little longer. Now, just because he goes through this doesn't mean he is having a breakdown, or a psychic, whatever. He's just tapping into something that we don't know about, and that's okay. If he could explain everything, because of his disorders, he has so many subjects going on in his head, but he can't speak them all. So he tends to only give you bits and pieces, and you have to kind of put it together. Now, a lot of times when he goes through this, he's very happy about it, but sometimes he gets a little angry, and you have to remind him that, no, that's not happy, that's angry, right? But sometimes you just allow him to be who he wants to be, and you just guide him to reality and imagination. And eventually he'll get to the point where he'll write it all out, and he writes it all out. And when he can get it from his brain to the pen and paper and write and write and write, then he can relax his brain. And once his brain relaxes, then he can breathe again, and then it'll go back to normal. There are so many books he has that he's written in that this has helped with, and it is so very important for him. So if you ever find yourself stuck in a thought, or somebody you're caring for is stuck in a thought, or you have a relative who is stuck in a thought, get a paper and pen and get them to write it out. Writing is such, if they can't write it out, try a typewriter, try a computer, an iPad, if they know how to type it. I saw a really cool video. I'm going to try and look it up for you and put it on the blog. I saw a really cool video about this girl who had autism, and she was stuck in her body, in her mind for so long, and then they got her a computer, and she actually went over to somebody's computer and started punching out words, and I think she typed out like hurt and then help. Then they got her a computer and they started teaching her how to type, and she started typing, and ever since she started typing and talking to people, then she started getting better. She was stuck inside, not able to talk to people, and nobody could understand her. And here was this really smart girl. And that's what I like. For me, that's what I see in everybody. We all have greatness inside us, as Les Brown says. And there are so many things that we don't realize that even people with disabilities or disorders or whatever you want to call it, even medical conditions, everybody has something to offer everybody. And they just need to get it out. So if we start believing in ourselves and we believe in that one person, imagine what our world would be like. So grab them a pen and paper if they can write, or a computer and teach them how to type, and watch what happens. Allow them to express themselves in any way. It's so amazing once we get there. And that goes for you too. Writing is so very important. Get it all out of your head and onto paper. And try and write some gratitudes while you're there. That's one of the things I definitely always comment for Matt. Always be grateful for something, because it's so worth it. And make an amazing day, everybody.